Hello, Artful Manifestors. Thank you for joining me today for this timeless pick a card tarot reading. This is a timeless reading. Whenever you come across it is when you're meant to hear it. And to choose your reading, you're going to choose from one of these lovely crystals or one of the cards I'm about to reveal. And you'll find a link to all the readings in the description box below. Oops. Getting a little crazy there with the shuffle. All right, for reading number 1, we have green opal. And for reading number 2, red carnelian. And for reading number 3, Kammererite. All right, let's look at the cards. For reading number 1, this is the image. And for reading number 2, this is the image. And for reading number 3, this is the image. Let your inner wisdom guide you. Whichever image or crystal you're most drawn to is most likely the reading meant for you. Of course, you're always welcome to listen to 2 if you're drawn to 2, or even all 3 if you're drawn to all 3, as you might find additional guidance for you there. Enjoy your reading. Hello, reading number 1. You chose the green opal, which has a nurturing energy, emotional healing, heart rejuvenation. It's energy that wraps around emotional wounds, the way moss might cover a forest stone. It helps clear stagnant emotions, especially those related to grief, old attachments, and unresolved heartbreak. And it also helps with past life release, ancestral healing, for those carrying karmic or ancestral grief, especially connected to love lost, land left behind, or duties unfulfilled. Green opal can soothe the inherited ache and offer gentle permission to begin anew. And it's attuned to the heart chakra as well as the high heart, creating a bridge between compassion and inner truth. It encourages you to live in alignment with your values and to trust your inner emotional compass, even when logic can't explain it. This is a type of activation, not just a healing. It's reawakening wild wisdom. And in fact, it also helps connect you to nature and elemental forces, and just is a really great overall soul renewal. It's like a river cleansing the subtle bodies, the energetic bodies. And the card you chose is Grace, which is about being able to see what others don't see. When you encounter people, you notice things, even if you can't name how you know, but you might notice subtle eye movements or slight vocal changes in tone or pattern, or just subtle body language, or perhaps you're picking up on the unseen, the subtle bodies, their energetic bodies, and you're able to perceive more about that individual than others would. So it's like you're seeing behind the mask. And I think this comes from the healing that you've done with yourself and what's being activated in you now. So let's find out more about that. How is reading number 1 healing? Oh. 2 of Pentacles. What interpersonal awareness is awakening in them? Or how is it awakening? Oh, that was too many. Let's put those back. And something's meant to come out, it will. All right. The World. Wow. And the Magician. You know, I am going to adjust my camera so we can get a closer look at these cards. Give me one moment. All right, thank you. I think that's better, and it gave me time to address our world figure. You know, just looking at the pictures and knowing what we know about green opal, I think that there has been a shift in your relationship with money. So you inherited some belief about money. Look at how big the coins are in this 2 of Pentacles card. And look at how the Magician is looking at this pentacle. And now it's smaller. So it's like it was maybe to your parents or ancestors, money, beliefs about money, how you gained resources. Maybe it was very predominant in their life. And you have a new perspective on it. And it's maybe not a predominant theme in your life anymore like it was with your parents, grandparents. There's definitely been a shift there. All right, and the 2 of Pentacles is a card that speaks of imbalance, adaptation, and the emotional weight of constant adjustment. You know, we see 2 pentacles here, but in the traditional card, we see somebody standing on one foot, and it looks like they're juggling, trying to balance. So you've been healing the invisible labor of managing too much. Maybe toggling between roles, responsibilities, or identities that fragmented your center. And you've likely been the one who always kept things afloat, the emotional anchor, the intuitive feeler, the adaptive one. But this came at the cost of your own nervous system's peace and your sacred singularity. You're healing the compulsion to juggle everything perfectly to keep others safe. And the feeling that you must choose between your calling and your stability. And the deep fear that something will fall apart if you stop this chaotic dance. You are no longer required to be the weaver of everyone's imbalance, everyone else's balance. You are allowed to choose you. And I feel some of you have been working on this. You know, this is the first cards. This is kind of telling like the origin story, right? Some of you maybe are coming out of it. A few of you may just be in the middle of this. And what it's activating is, you know, the world is full circle vision, the seeing that arises only after you've walked the spiral and returned to yourself. So it's like we were born and we know who we are, and then we get all this stuff put on us and we walk away from ourselves, right? We do this we come out here, we're looking for something, and we realize what we're looking for is ourselves until finally we come back to ourselves. And that's a beautiful thing. So it's like you're coming full circle back to yourself, and you now view life not in fragments or dualities, but an interwoven whole. And you may now see the beauty in your entire timeline, not just the triumphant parts. Yourself as a cosmic thread within a vast sacred tapestry. And that healing is not about erasing wounds, but about reconsecrating them as portals. This activation has opened your heart's horizon. You see how the end of a role, identity, belief, or pattern was never loss. It was graduation. It was your initiation into being whole here and now. You are the container and the content. You're the rhythm and the dancer, the world and the wanderer, and you have the holistic vision, and you're able to see others with this holistic vision, where you don't see only that moment's words or behavior, but you see what most likely shaped them. I'm being reminded of Ram Dass's quote about trees, and I don't have it in front of me. Actually, let me pull it up. Give me one moment. All right. So this is what Ram Dass said. When you go out into the woods and you look at trees, you see all these different trees, and some of them are bent, and some of them are straight, and some of them are evergreens, and some of them are whatever. And you look at the tree and you allow it. You see why it is the way it is. You sort of understand that it didn't get enough light, and so it turned that way. And you don't get all emotional about it. You just allow it. You appreciate the tree. The minute you get near humans, you lose all that, and you are constantly saying, you are to this, I'm to this. That judgment mind comes in. And so I practice turning people into trees, which means appreciating them just the way they are. Quote by Ram Dass, not my words. But this is what my guides were reminding me of, is that now you can, quote unquote, turn people into trees. You see what led them to that expression of themselves, and you are accepting and non-judgmental. And doing this with yourself is huge. You're doing it with yourself, which is very healing and liberating, and you're doing it with others. Very beautiful. And the magician is what you're going to do with this activation. You're meant to create deliberately now from wholeness as opposed to hustle. The magician signals that you are in possession of the elemental tools of manifestation: earth, air, fire, and water, and now spirits. This card asks you to name your soul's desires clearly as spells, as declarations, as invitations to the universe. Utilize your tools, your voice, your art, your rituals, your teachings. Trust in timing. That spiral that brought you here is still spinning forward. You're meant to be an alchemist of your experience. Just as you turned wounds into portals, you're turning all that you've learned into medicine for others. You're no longer performing balance. You're living it. You're meant to channel power. Let your life become the altar. Let your hands become the ritual. Let your words become the spell. So beautiful. Reading number 1. This whole vision of wholeness and cosmic belonging, releasing the invisible burden of balancing too much for too long, and stepping into your creative power to manifest and serve as a conscious co-creator. Please let me know if this resonates. I'm wishing you the best. The light in me sees the light in you. Thank you. Bye. Hello, reading number 2. You chose the red carnelian. Such a beautiful stone. And it is connected to your sacral chakra, the seat of creation, pleasure, and primal magic. It stirs the pot of your inner cauldron, awakening creative energy, not just for art, but for living life fully and sensually. It restores courage, confidence, willpower. It also fortifies the solar plexus, reminding you that you're allowed to take up space, to lead, to move towards your desires with clarity and a little heat. And to me, this even looks like a dragon. It gently moves through the lower chakras and helps heal shame, grief, ancestral burdens. And while it's not labeled a protective stone like obsidian or black tourmaline, carnelian grounds you through action. It deflects intrusive energy by flooding your system with embodied presence. When you're rooted and alive, lower energies can't latch on. And I love that you chose the card Delight. Goes well so perfectly with this red carnelian energy. Let's find out more about what and how you're healing and how you're stepping into this embodied presence. And delight. This is all about being joyful and unapologetically happy, enjoying life, not hiding it for other people's sake, letting it shine. It's just so authentic and genuine, and it's contagious. It spreads to others, and your happiness, your joy shining on others it activates something in them. All right, we have the Four of Wands. Justice. And the Six of Bowls. The Four of Wands is the hearthstone of your reading, the sacred structure of joy, the sanctuary that says you are safe to dance here. You are becoming more rooted by creating inner and outer spaces of celebration, not as a reward after hardship, but as a daily ritual, reclaiming your right to pleasure, rest, and beauty, especially in the small, overlooked moments. Enjoying that favorite beverage in your favorite cup and just really appreciating that moment. And recognizing that home is not a place that confines you, but one that expands your spirit. You're building a joyful altar within your own life, and you're choosing to dwell in sacred stability, not survival. I see you creating these moments that feel so safe and pleasurable. It's not a fleeting happiness. This is a deep rooted contentment, the kind that echoes in your bones when you light a candle, when you use that special soap, that special cleaner, when you cook with intention or hear laughter. It's just like this first card. It is authentic happiness. It's so beautiful. And the justice is, it shows how your aliveness is blooming through clarity, understanding. Understanding, is that a word? Understanding, discernment, and integration. You're learning how to stand in your truth without apology, no longer bending to false peace or shrinking to be palatable. You're not too much. You are becoming more alive by releasing distorted responsibility, knowing what is yours to carry and what is not. Honoring your lived truth, even if it's complex or others don't understand it. Living in right relationship with yourself, with nature, with spirit, with others. This is an alive resonance, and you're learning how to hum in tune with your soul. This is energetic justice, meaning as you live more truthfully, you draw in experiences and people that reflect your wholeness back to you. It reminds me a bit of the law of attraction, or the law of resonance. It's you're truly happy with each thing. It is a very childlike happiness, how children, whatever they're looking at or doing, that's what's bringing them happiness in that moment, without thinking about what happened yesterday or what's going to happen tomorrow. And we have the 6 of bowls here to confirm it, that this is that joy through remembered innocence and soul memory. So this card brings the sweetness of soul nostalgia, memories that rise from beyond this life, from other lives, from other timelines. It says joy is not a thing you must find. It's something that you are. And it's remembering who and what you are. So you're becoming more joyful by remembering who you are, by reconnecting with the magic of your younger self, the one who played with trees and trusted dreams and spoke to stars. And maybe you spoke to your stuffed animals and your pets, and you saw the magic in everything. You spoke to those things, to rocks and crystals and trees, because you knew that they held spirit and were alive, and it was magical. And I see you returning to that and allowing softness and tenderness back into your life, savoring the scent of old recipes and the comfort of rituals. And I see the return of ancestral guidance. It's always been there, but maybe you weren't quite the resonance for it, and now you are. Wow. So beautiful. I just see you rooted, alive, joyful, having intentional is not the right word. It just happens. You just are celebrating every moment, celebrating that favorite tea in that special teacup, or feeling like you're part of nature as you sit beneath that tree, or recognizing that it's a sacred space in nature, and feeling alive through living with your truth, aligned with your truth, and releasing false obligations, and feeling joyful through connecting with that innocent and ancient and childlike self. Reading number 2. This feels so magical and so happy. Just know that if you're not already living this happiness, this joy, this delight, that it is right around the corner. And I'm wishing you the best. The light in me sees the light in you. Thank you. Bye. Color reading number 3, you chose the Kammererite, which opens the crown and third eye chakras. It activates your inner sight and clears distortion, confusion, psychic noise. It allows you to see more truthfully, and it purifies energetic attachments. So old soul contracts that no longer serve you, residual cords from past loves or karmic ties, thought forms or beliefs imposed by others that cloud your truth. And it encourages inner peace and soul sovereignty because it clears the energy body and sharpens discernment. It fosters a deep sense of peace. Radiant calm. It invites sovereignty from within. It's a trust that things are going to work out. This is especially helpful if you've been feeling energetically fragmented or overwhelmed. And Foxfire is about being at a crossroads and having your path illuminated. So it pairs perfectly with the Chimeraite, offering you calm discernment and trust. So let's find out some more about that. Right, we have the 5 of Pentacles, the 7 of Bowls. Yeah, the 7 of Bowls is not knowing what decision to make. Don't worry, that's coming to an end. And the 3 of Wands. All right. If you hear little noises in the background, that is Agnes walking around. All right, this 5 of Pentacles shows the part of you that still carries old stories of being left out, unsupported, unseen, or spiritually wandering in the cold. And I feel like this card came out recently. If it did and you got it, let me know. It speaks of the fear that if you make the wrong choice, you will be punished, left behind, or unloved. Wounds from times when you reached out and were met with absence or misalignment. And a lingering feeling that you're on the outside of grace, knocking at the door of divine support. But here is the truth. You are never truly alone. You may have been cast out by systems, people, or circumstances, but never by your soul. The path aligned with your highest good will not demand that you shrink or starve. It might be unfamiliar, but it will not abandon you. The door's already open. You are meant to enter the sanctuary. And the Seven of Cups is, it's that image of many options, but also the fog of indecision. It's like wandering through a dreamscape where everything glimmers, but not everything nourishes. It goes so well perfectly with this Five of Pentacles. You know, it's being afraid to make the wrong choice. Excuse me. It's the need to listen not just to your excitement, but to your nervous system, your breath, your body, the invitation to clear the emotional and energetic static before making a move. Choose with clarity. And I see you doing that with this foxfire illuminating your path. This foxfire is your soul fire, your soul light. And this Kammererite is discernment. So I see you gaining that discernment, letting the inner resonance illuminate the path instead of choosing out of fear. Fear of what you should or shouldn't do, what others will think. I see all of those tangles clearing away so that you can see more clearly. And the Three of Wands is, you know, it's trusting the call and moving with calm intention. It's visioning, readiness, and trusting what is coming towards you, even if it hasn't fully arrived. This is the calm movement you asked for. It's a deep knowing that the energy you've sent out will return. So you don't need to chase it. It's faith that your inner expansion is already magnetizing aligned opportunities and people and resources. It's a call to begin walking with presence, pacing, poetic anticipation. The wind is already carrying your message, and the sea is answering your call. Walk towards the horizon. The path is forming as you step. Move in the direction that fuels your soul's fire, and your soul's fire will get brighter to illuminate the right path. Trust yourself. That is the best self to trust, is you. So don't worry about making the wrong choice. Follow what excites you, and it's going to be both exciting and calming because there's going to be so much trust enveloped in it. Wow, this feels so beautiful, so sacred. Yeah. It's like your soul saying, as long as you do what you want to do, you can't make the wrong choice. So put that at the top of your list, and the more you follow your own spark, the brighter your spark grows, becoming this foxfire, this soul fire that makes the paths more illuminated and the right people and the right resources more illuminated, easier to connect to. What a beautiful message. reading number 3. Please let me know if this resonates. I love to read your comments. And I'm wishing you the best. The light in me sees the light in you. Thank you. Bye.